Hi guys, my name is Sasha and I'm going to walk you through how to write a question and answer article. Specifically, this will be for your new teacher feature, which will be the first article that you write. This is a sample of a final product. In your title up here, you're going to have the teacher's name and the department that they work in, a nice photo, which we'll talk about later, and then you're going to have a short blurb describing the teacher. In this, you'll mention their name, maybe what grade they teach, their department, how they're new to the school, and another fact about them. This could be where they used to live, where they used to work, or what their hobbies are. Then in the main article, you're going to have about 5 Q&As, so you'll include the question that you asked and their answer, and this will be from the more interesting and more important questions. If they don't have a super interesting answer to a question, you don't have to use it. This part is really just a transcription of the interview, and it's obviously edited for proper grammar. And this is a real article that got published, so you can follow this link to see it up on the sagonline.com. Contacting teachers can be scary sometimes, but this sample outline should help you. You're going to start with a nice, polite greeting, and you're going to introduce yourself and mention that you're a reporter and you're on the Scholar Sagamore. That's super important. Reporters have a really important role in the community, and they're probably going to be pretty excited to be interviewing. You're going to say what the article's about and how you're interested in interviewing them. This is helpful by saying it's just 15 minutes because teachers are super busy and they might be stressed about their time, and this probably isn't the most important thing for them. But 15 minutes isn't that long, and that's going to help them realize that they can definitely do it. If you have any free blocks, it's good to put that there. If you don't have any free blocks, totally okay too. Suggest some other times that you're available, maybe Tuesday before school, Wednesday lunch, and Thursday after school. 2 or 3 times should be good. And then you're also going to thank them and send the email. When you arrive at your interview, you want to be prepared. So this means knowing where to go, obviously. After your first email, you and your interviewee should coordinate a place to meet. In general, they'll probably say, come to my room, but maybe they don't. And you can say, would you like me to go to your room? Or would you like to meet in the cafeteria or the library or someone else? And this is also important. If they work for a special program in this school, be sure to research it and have some background information on it before you go to your interview so that you're prepared to ask questions about it. This is very important for all interviews in the state of Massachusetts. You need to ask permission to record. You absolutely have to do this. It's a state law. When you get there, if you're not sure exactly who the teacher is, ask who they are and then introduce yourself and create some polite small talk. So how to interview. The first basic questions are you definitely want to spell their name correctly. We absolutely do not want to mess this up. And of course, you absolutely have to ask permission to record. If they have a specific job title for maybe a special program, definitely get this and make sure you have it written down correctly. The important thing about interviewing is having a lot of good open-ended questions. So an open-ended question is something where they can respond in multiple sentences or paragraphs. It's not a question where the answer is yes or no. Tell me about your job. You can't answer that yes or no. You have to explain. That's an open-ended question. So these are some good things to kind of grasp what they're doing at Driscoll, how their transition has been, and who they are as a person, and also what they did before they came to Driscoll. Also be prepared to come up with some more questions similar to these, similar open-ended questions before the interview. So one thing that comes to my head right away is say that you're doing this interview right after a vacation. How was your vacation? Did you do anything fun? Maybe it's right after summer. What was the most interesting thing you did this summer? Think about they're people too. Yes, they're teachers, but they have real lives outside of the school. Get to know who they are. Follow-up questions are also really important. Maybe you ask, what are your hobbies? And they say, I go skiing every weekend. Say, wow, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that is not necessarily a question, but it works as a question because it provides an opportunity for them to share more. You also want to be sure that at the end, you ask if there's anything else that you wanted to tell me. This always should be the second to last question. So after you've finished all the other questions you've prepared, ask this. You want to make sure that they feel that their voice is being heard and that their story is being told. And by asking this, it provides an opportunity for them to share anything that they think is important that you might not have gotten to in the interview. Next, you want to ask how you can contact them if there's something you need to clarify. Maybe you didn't hear them correctly, or maybe you want more explanation of one thing that they do or they're interested in. This can be the last question of your interview. Sometimes things go wrong, but hopefully they won't. Just in case, we'll get prepared. You'll send your email today, and After 3 school days, I would wait 3 school days. So if you send an email Friday and it's Monday, don't freak out because they probably didn't see their email over the weekend. Wait 3 school days and then send another email. If it's 1 school day later and they still haven't responded, go find them in person. If you don't know where their office is, then try and figure that out through another teacher in the school and go to their office. Unfriendly or hostile, that would be a really poor experience, and I really hope that that doesn't happen to you, but I think that that's very, very unlikely. I have never had an interview where a teacher was unfriendly or hostile to me. Most likely they'll be super excited that you're a reporter and that they're being interviewed. If they ever say anything you don't understand, it's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Just ask a clarifying question. I'm sorry, I don't know that term. Tell me more about that. Or what exactly does that program do? If they answer in one sentence, try and come up with more follow-up questions to pull out more information from them. Tell me more. What do you like about skiing? Where do you go skiing? If they ever ask to read the article or the transcript before publishing, you absolutely cannot let them, because it's part of our policy that nobody sees any articles before publication. But maybe they're concerned about something, so you can just ask this question, and in general, they'll be okay with it. But if maybe they'll say, I want to make sure my grammar is correct, or I don't say too many likes or ums. The good thing is we take out all those filler words, like like. All of those get taken out in the transcripts. We're going to do some practice interviews after we finish going through this. Memorize this line. This is very, very important. If anybody ever says something to you and you don't know the answer, just say, I'm sorry, I don't know. I need to check and get back to you. That's a totally suitable answer, and it always gets you out of a really tough situation. So which photo do you think is better? Take a minute to think about it. All right, you made your decisions? Here we go. This photo is better. This photo is better because she's holding something, so you can see that she's a world language teacher, and the nice background provides a little life to the photo. There's more color, there's more contrast. It's a nice clear shot. You're far enough away that there's more stuff than just her head, but you're not too far away where you can't see her face. This photo is a little bit more dull because the background is just a blank. It's a blank wall. There's nothing on it. It's very close up, and it doesn't really capture her at the best angle or the best lighting. It's really important that you take good photos, and this is important because the article isn't just the words on the page. There's a story that can be told through the multimedia, and you'll learn more about multimedia later, but it's definitely important to get good photos. You want a nice background, you want the person smiling, maybe they'll even do a thumbs up if that's their personality. Here, you look at this, and we can see that he's a science or a math teacher. We look at this, and obviously she's an art teacher. You want to be able to get something from the photo. And sometimes photos can be really uncomfortable, and that's okay. But as you go on, you'll get better at taking photos, and also you can take more than one photo. Maybe the teacher feels really uncomfortable, and they say, oh, I don't look good in that photo. Can we take another photo? That's totally okay. This is a photo of them going online. It's understandable they want to look good. You just want to capture them in a really smiling, happy mood, and you can see that with everything that's around them. It'll bring life to the photo. And in order to create that, you need a friendly environment in your interview, and that's something that I'm sure all of you will foster. I think you guys will do great. I think now you guys can do some practice runs, and you should be good to go.